Hi, Minna Vener. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I'm here to do another Aurora reaction. Um, it's been too long since I did my last one, which I think was Runaway. And this particular reaction is from the same concert that she did Through the Eyes of a Child, which, if you watched my reaction, I just loved her performance there. And many of you said from your comments that if I liked that one, that this one would um, mesmerize me even more. And so I'm excited to see her perform this. Um, and what I normally do for those of you that are new to my channel is I will go through the lyrics and kind of talk through it and see if there's anything that stands out that um, maybe the songwriters were trying to communicate um, through the words that is powerful or that has some significant meaning. So if you're not into that part of my reaction, as far as me going through the lyrics, then check on the YouTube video here. You should see different sections and you can go ahead and just skip forward directly to my reaction. So I always provide that for those that are not interested in listening to the lyrics. So if that's you, go ahead and skip ahead now if you'd like. So, of course, as I said, this is It Happened Quiet, songwriters Sasha Skarbek and Aurora Axnes. And the lyrics are, eyes blue and hollow, as it rains against their will, feathers falling out of the pillow, as if time is standing still. I can't remember much more, but I know it happened quiet, so quiet, words falling out through the window. All that remains is a silent call. Is the earth colored red? As I land like a flower on the meadow, love is wild, you fell apart, like a stone can be broken into sand, 1,000 pieces spread across a crying land, and you can't remember that day, but you know it happened quiet, so quiet, words falling out through the window, all that remains is a silent call. So it repeats itself here. Several oohs. Are your dreams as dead as they seem? Don't you speak over my voice, I will return from the shadows, and I'll bleed in your bed, turn it red, like the ground outside your window. Wow, this is deep. Love is wild, and then it just repeats. I will return from the shadows, and I'll bleed in your bed, turn it red, like the ground outside your window. Wow, this is interesting. There's a lot of imagery here, which is the case with a lot of songs, right? But it's really almost poetic type imagery. Those of you that don't know, I'm a writer on the side, so I write middle grade fantasy. If you're interested, there's a link down in my description. But so any of the imagery and the use of words to kind of create a different image of something, I'm always interested in that. And this one here where it says feathers falling out of the pillow as if time is standing still. I can't remember much more, but I know it happened quiet. So things like feathers falling out of a pillow, right? It's like you don't often hear these parallels with the deconstruction of a pillow where the feathers are falling out, right? That's an interesting kind of image. Words falling out through the window, right? All that remains is a silent call. Is the earth colored red? So there's multiple kind of references to this earth colored red, almost kind of like she's speaking about, I don't know if she's speaking about like the wars and the bloodshed and things like that are going on in the world at the time that this was written. As I land like a flower on the meadow, love is wild, you fell apart like a stone can be broken into sand. Again, it's this deconstruction of things, right? The pillow, the stone, 1,000 pieces spread across a crying land. Yeah, it really sounds to me like it's something to do with the turmoil of war and the destructive nature of war and contention and all of the hostility within the land, right? Within, whether that's her country, I'm not sure, or if she's speaking to something specific. If you have kind of more of the backstory of what she's writing about here, then I would be very interested in that if you could put that in the comments. But there's definitely some references there to that. Again, the earth colored red, as I land like a flower in the meadow. So it's almost like she's talking about trying, again, through the eyes of a child, was kind of capturing that ability to stay with a viewpoint of a child where everything is simple and the simple things make you happy, and you're not weighed down by the things of the world outside. And so this has kind of a similar theme almost to it, where she's talking about landing like a flower in the meadow, right? So this is a stark contrast to what she's been talking about, is the earth colored red, you know, I will bleed in your bed, turn it red, right? So there's this this contrast to the flower landing in a meadow. It's just calm, really peaceful type thing. And so maybe she's trying to say that those are the thoughts I'm trying to capture for myself and think for myself to help me to, you know, see things through the eyes of a child and see things in a more peaceful way and find peace within myself. So that's kind of my take. It could be off, but that's just my initial take from what it seems like with the lyrics here. So any comments you have on that, I welcome that. I'm always eager to learn more about what things mean and what the artist is trying to communicate and what more I can gain from the lyrics and the message of the song. So with that, I'll get right into the reaction, but real quick, if you haven't already, or if you're new to my channel, if you could please click on the subscribe, click on the little notifications bell there, and then you can be notified of any of my new reactions. I'm trying to get more out. I've done 2 today, and I'm hoping to post these within the next 2 or 3 days. So I'm trying to ramp up the pace of what I'm putting out on my channel. I appreciate all of your patience. I know it's been a while for all of you Aurora fans out there since I've done a reaction for her, but I'm going to try to be more active all around, which will allow for me to have more reactions to each of the artists that I have on my channel, and also add more of the new artists as well. So if you have other artists that you'd like to suggest down in the comments, if you could please do that. I'm always open for that. I like to kind of do new artist reactions periodically, and so it would be good to kind of have your suggestions. Let's dive right in here. I love the violin. Oh, that's cool. Is that a bass? This hall is just magnificent.
Eyes blue and hollow as it rains against their will. Feathers falling out of a pillow, as if time is standing still. I can't remember much more, but I know it happened quiet.
Ooh, that's haunting.
So quiet.
I love the strum.
Words falling out through the window. All that remains is a silent call. Is the earth colored red as I land like a flower on the meadow? Love is wide, and you fell apart.
Oh,
Like a stone can be broken into sand.
wow. She has such a distinct tone, such a distinct sound to her voice, and there's just a lilt. I think I've talked about that before when describing her voice, and it's just there. It's like this high lilting sound, this timbre to her tone. But she sings with such expressiveness and freedom. It's a good word for it. It kind of reminds me of a child. You know, if you've seen a child perform, when our youngest son, when he was a little guy, he would just sing all the time. You know, he didn't care who he was singing for or for whatever. He would just, you know, sing and dance and perform or do whatever. And he just was completely at ease and free about it. And that's the sense I get from her, is that she's just in her element, and it just oozes out of her in a very natural way. And you can hear kind of when she jumps up into her head voice, it still comes through with that power, but she has just a lot of control there, and it's just a natural extension of who she is and her voice, right? So let me go back a little bit here, make sure I don't miss anything. But when she did that so quiet, that it happened quiet. It was just so it gave me goosebumps. Let me go back to it here. I love all the instruments though. I mean, this is brilliant how she's got a full orchestra. She's got the violin and the bass and the harp, all these different instruments. It just adds so much to the performance. Let's see if I can, sorry, I'm going back a little ways here. You hear that jump? Right there again. See how she looked down there? She's personifying everything she does. Did the flower fall to the meadow? She's looking down, almost like she's visualizing the flower falling gently down into the meadow. Wow.
Love is wide, and you fell apart like a stone can be broken into
See how she's doing this? Broken. Such intensity.
Across a dying land, and you can't remember that day, but you know it happened quiet.
There's the quiet again, and the strumming.
Quiet.
Ooh.
Words falling out through the window. All that remains is a silence.
Look at the intensity in her eyes right there.
Is the earth colored red as I land like a flower on the meadow? Love is wide.
She's changing what I thought those words meant. When I saw the words "love is wild," I thought, well, love is wild and crazy and chaotic. But I think what she's actually saying is love is wild, in that love is nature. Love is raw and natural, and like the flower in the meadow, and like these other things that she talks about. that are more kind of organic, right? Um, love should just be this natural thing that happens to us, that we feel, we share. That's more of what I'm picking up from the lyrics than what I initially thought. So um, it's amazing how you kind of discover these things and the context becomes more clear to you as you watch the performer and you listen to the way it's performed and the words that are around it and all of that. Mm.
Are your dreams as dead as they seem? Are your dreams as dead as they seem? Don't you speak over my voice. I will return from the shadows, and I'll bleed in your bed, turn it red like the ground outside your window. Love is wild. Love is wild. Love is wild. Oh, love is wild.
Wow. Sorry, there were little buffering pauses or something going on. I don't know what the deal is there. Um, I've got some of the fastest internet you can possibly get, and yet I still end up having different issues along the way. It's kind of weird. Um, wow. Yeah, that final set of lyrics there is interesting. I'm still trying to. Are your dreams as dead as they seem? Don't you speak over my voice? I will return from the shadows and I'll bleed in your bed, turn it red. There's definitely a story here behind these lyrics. She's speaking to someone specific. Are your dreams dead as they seem? Don't you speak over my voice? So at some point, she felt kind of silenced. I'll return from the shadows. Yeah. So there's definitely a story here, and you can see as she kind of sang those lyrics toward the end that she sang them with power and feeling, like they meant something to her. And that's really one of the marks of a great artist, is when they've internalized the lyrics and they mean something to them. Lara Fabian's a prime example of that, right? She immerses herself in the song. She becomes the song. She sings the song, and Aurora gives me the same vibe. She is singing from her soul, something that means something to her. And the fact that she helped write this song, it lends itself to that, right? So she was involved with the writing of the lyrics and the song, and the notes and how they're laid out. All of that makes a difference in the telling of the story, and singing the message and getting that across. But yeah, this was amazing. I love Aurora. She's a remarkable artist and very, very unique. Her voice is unique. Her style of singing is unique. her performance style, all those things are unique. And she just seems to be such a genuine, heartfelt, I am what I am type person. And I love those types of people. So awesome performance. Loved it. So give me more suggestions for Aurora. I'm excited to continue to experience more of her masterpieces and see her continue to sing in her unique, incredible way. So I'm going to close my video, as I do with all my reactions, by reaching out across the world to all of you to say that you need to know that you are special, you are loved, and you can accomplish your dreams, and you can be happy. That's another one I like to add, because in today's world, there's a lot of hardships and challenges, and we have war going on, we have the pandemic, we have all these things that can get us down. But through the music and through coming together, and helping each other and being kind and doing all these things, we can overcome and we can have happiness in our lives. And that's a big part of my channel, is, as my logo says there, music lights the world. Because I really feel that music is that universal thing that can bring warmth to our hearts and bring us together, and something we all enjoy, even though our languages and cultures are different. And I hope that you've found that in my channel, and we can all be positive forces in each other's lives and come together. And I thank you for your support. This is a fun thing for me, and I enjoy interacting with each of you and hopefully helping you in some way. That's my goal. So take care of yourselves.